Hello and welcome to the Dominion Daily for August 13th, 2026. We've got Prosperity and Menagerie today. Return of Prosperity, Return of Collection, and Quarry came through after Divine Wind as well yesterday. So we've got for thinning Bounty Hunter, Goat Herd, Mint, Displace. For draw, Paddock. Demand is also basically draw. Goat Herd can be draw, but it usually isn't. For plus actions, the only thing is Paddock once 2 piles have emptied. So terminal space is definitely going to be a big limitation here. I mean, so far as that goes, there's not that many terminal cards that we'd be looking to play, except for Paddock itself, which will become at least non-terminal when 1 pile empties, which is pretty likely. So that may not be as big of a limitation as all that. Yeah, and then for gains, we've got Collection is the big one, plus buy. Oh, and also Stockpile. Kiln, Displace, Mint, all gain stuff. As is Way of the Camel, I suppose. Demand gains horses, supplies gains horses. This is potentially relevant for Displace. Paddock, same thing. So lots of gains. We got a 2-5, so we're obviously going to click on supplies. Let's go ahead and do that. And then the question is, do we open Mint or do we open probably Demand Bounty Hunter? So the normally opening Mint is not a great idea, but here we've got a supplies in the deck. So even if we were to draw into Mint and 3 estates, so long as we saw that supplies with it, which at that point would only be a 1 in 3 chance, but still it would be fine. If we see at least 2 coins, that's also fine. We can get another supplies. The only really sad case is we see Mint, 3 estates, and a copper. And that costs us basically a turn. On the other hand, I mean, that is a risk. Calculating the odds for that seems difficult, but we'll have 7 cards in the deck. What are the odds that we bottom deck that 2 of them are like copper supplies? The supplies itself would be 2 and 7, and then the copper would be 2 and 6 on top of that. So 1/3 of 2/7 would be 2 and 21. It's a little less than 10%. That is pretty low. And like getting that thin that quickly with the ability, it was like if we hit 3, we can get a stockpile, like, and that's a good amount of payload. At that point, we can probably demand Bounty Hunter, which can then like start exiling estates, and we're in a good spot. Mint duplicating supplies is going to be great here because collection supplies is like a synergy, right? You're going to get the horses with the collection in play, and supplies are otherwise just generically good. And then once we get collection in the deck, we can mint collection, stockpile as well. So that all seems good. Yeah, obviously there is that downside case. If we go with Demand Bounty Hunter, the downside is we get way less than quickly. unless we happen to, like, I mean, there's a world where we demand bounty hunter and then we draw like 5 coppers again and we just buy the mint, but now we have the bounty hunter in the deck or whatever. Like that's certainly a possibility, but it's not particularly likely. And then at that point, I don't know if we end up taking a second bounty hunter or not. We certainly get thinner, or thin more slowly. I really think I want to do the mint thing. I want to. Okay, let's go. This is great. The mint of supplies, top deck a horse, and we can take a stockpile. What did the bot open? So the bot has 2 bounty hunters. So it opened supplies bounty hunter into bounty hunter. Okay. Okay. So I do think we want to demand a bounty hunter. It is a little bit unfortunate. I mean, it's not unfortunate that we're getting to do that. It is unfortunate that we see all 3 estates here, and that makes it relatively unlikely that the bounty hunter sees a state. But even bounty hunting copper is fine. And we might get to a state anyway. Yep, okay. We're certainly doing this. There's no reason not to play this horse. Okay, we can get another supplies. And then... So we could demand again if we want our stockpile back, or we could just go ahead and get a collection. We are going to run into the limitation of, like, you know, draw, right? So, and one thing we can do there is, like, we can get a paddock and stop playing the mint. Mint is pretty good. I mean, you know, supply is emptying. Right now, it's not looking like stockpile is actually going to empty. The bot hasn't touched it. I don't know if it will, but supply is emptying is also a path to non-terminal paddock. Collection will help with that about as much as stockpile. I mean, it's a little like, I think I do like getting the collection. All right. Right, the stockpile. It's like, why do I have 2 cards in exile? So there is an argument for minting supplies over collection, but I don't think it's a particularly strong one. Demand looks better now because we got a collection in play. We could demand a stockpile. Consider demanding a second bounty hunter, I guess. We've got 2 estates and 2 coppers left that we'd like to exile, so it's not super high impact. We could just demand a supplies, which has the advantage that it's less stop cardy. Both because, like, if we're discarding a stockpile from exile, we're adding a stop card, and also because the supplies will be generating horses. We don't really need the buys so much. Yeah, I think we demand a supplies. All right. Do we care about the money from bounty hunting? Like the extra 2 money from bounty hunting this copper? 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think we do. I think we're just going to demand a supplies and buy a supplies. Okay, supplies are empty. We can start on paddocks. Again, do we care about the money? 5, 6, 7, 8. We could get to 10. Okay, in this case, we probably do care then. And we go double paddock. All right, now obviously bounty hunt estate. So we should just have, yeah, the 1 copper left. Take 2 more paddocks. Whoops. Take another paddock. We could get the stockpiles back. We could take a quarry. Could help with buying more paddocks. I think nothing is also a reasonable option. I don't really want to spend drawing into stockpile or quarry over collection. I think I'm gonna go with nothing. All right. Do we want to put horses into this shuffle? I think at least some. Because we didn't have any horses. We didn't play anything to generate horses last turn. 8 cards down there. I'm gonna draw 3 of them. That's the mint. And then we just added 2 horses, which would draw another 2 of them. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. save one paddock. Maybe that was a mistake. Alright. Surely it's in our interest to lower collections. And we just take 3 more paddocks, probably. I don't know what else we would be doing. I mean, I guess triple demand would generate more points. I don't know that we need to be generating more points, really. We're gonna score 6 points from that. We're gonna be at 50. I just don't see how the bot could possibly... And, like, lowering piles is actively good for us if we're trying to end the game. Also, only demanding an action would actually score more points anyway. Yeah, I'm too concerned here. Exiling a stockpile is so pointless. Why would you do that? I suppose technically exiling a paddock is better than playing it if we're ending the game anyway. Three buys. So we just demand. What do we want to demand? Well, there's only a few choices. Demand some goat herds. Yeah, we won by a little bit. Early mint worked out. It could have failed to work out. I think, honestly, I think it probably still would have been correct. Like, even if we'd been delayed by a turn, we would have gotten another supplies the next turn. We would have top decked a horse, which would have set us up for not having that same failure case after that, and so on and so forth. I just think the mint open was too good to pass up. The bot obviously didn't have that option. It did in the end get a bunch of stockpiles, but not early. But yeah, I mean, it's a little hard to say whether the bot could have competed had we not had the different openings. Just because I do think the mint opening was a lot stronger. Yeah, collection shenanigans. Thanks for watching, and until next time.